You didn't just take on the fight to get justice for your son, though. You actually took on a whole, you know, issue within the policing system and things that are just massive, massive and very important causes, and you backed that for the last 25 years. I mean, how could you do all of that at once? It is an immense amount of strength to be able to turn around and say, this is wrong in the system, this is how I'm going to change it, and this is how I'm going to make life better for other people.
I think when you're going through, you're not taking... At the time, you're not thinking about you're taking on a system. You're fighting for what is on a daily basis. So that's what you focus on. So if you was to look at the whole thing, then you just think, no, you can't, because it's so huge. And so for me, because I was studying at the time, so I had that as my get-out clause. So if anybody said to me, oh, can you come and do this? It's like, no, I've got an essay to write, I've got this to do, I've got my daughter. So there's always, so I've got a get-out clause. So, and that's what I use, because I've always tried to be really focused. And my focus always been is to make sure that my children were fine and to protect them. And also, you know, Stephen didn't have a voice, I was his voice. But at the same time, I didn't allow it to sort of swallow me up, because I just think if you did that, you never move forward.
Stephen's father, Neville, your ex-husband, he has said very recently that he has now found it in his heart to forgive the men who killed your son, which is a huge thing to do, a very difficult thing to do. Do you feel any forgiveness to the people who killed him?
It's very difficult to forgive somebody who's never admitted they've done anything wrong. And so, and unless they come up in front of me as something I need to talk about, I don't focus on them at all, because I just think they're not there. My focus has always been looking forward. How do I make sure that my children are okay? I've got grandchildren now, so they are what's important to me. And, you know, the trust, the young people that we've worked with over the years. I mean, so we've had over 120-something students, and at least 5 of them are qualified architects. Yeah. And so those are the things, so when I see them, you know the work I've been doing, it is the positive thing.
But Stephen wanted to be an architect,
Stephen wanted to be an architect.
So when you see those students progress and become architects, does that give you some joy?
It does. I remember the first 2 that qualified, and they were in Jamaica, and I was there. And yes, it was quite touching that I felt it should have been my son. Mm. But at the same time, I was really proud to know that I've been able to do something that sort of helped their lives to move forward. So it's always a positive thing. So I think for me is if you keep dwelling on being negative and have really hatings, then you never grow. And for me, it's always been looking forward. What can I do? How can I support? And so I think that's what's carried me through.